Of course, my model is not moving. Let me make sure we fix that. I'm gonna have to reboot it. Good morning! Let's see if we can get this working now. I know I have iTunes. Come on now, baby. Of course, VTuber scuff, everybody. Did we get it? We're good. It only took 2 resets. Good morning! How's everyone today? Bogu, nice to see you. Guys, don't be alarmed. The game developers here. Selcha's doing great. Star's here. They want me to have a lovely stream. I gotta blow my nose. Why is it that it won't show up in chat, but it'll show up here? Hello, Mr. Lero. Are you good here, sir? Get out of my room. Only a stream enjoyer. Okay. Critique the game like Gordon Ramsay, alright? Your local resident visual novel lover, Runa Aeon, is on the case. I heard that there was a visual novel that needed to be explored. And today we explore Heroes Odyssey. But first, before we do that, I just wanted to let you guys know that I've been working on a couple of side projects behind the scenes. Excuse me. One of which is I am working on getting a visual site where you can see where my art commissions. And also setting up like a list so you can see what is going on with my art commissions. That's always a fun time. So I've been working on building that on Card. I used Card already previously to show off my social, like I have my link to my social medias on Card. So I started making like a commission page using Card as well, because it's free. Ow. I had to get a tissue. Oh, okay. This weather is awful. Making me so stuffly. Juris, don't lie. You streamed yesterday. You just don't want people to know what you were streaming. You party pooper. You stinker. I don't know why you gotta be such a party pooper, Juris. And act like it didn't happen. I was there, Juris. Where you told everybody to not come? Because you're crazy? But yeah. So we're playing Heroes Odyssey today. We're playing the demo. Let me pull up the Steam page so you guys can see it. Yeah, I know this. Liar, Juris. No, I didn't need that. Alright. Lock it. Don't lock it yet. I'll make this a little bit bigger. Not me bigger. Now we're gonna lock it. Okay. Heroes Odyssey. Summon into ancient Greece with a quest I didn't ask for. Demo! So, we are going to be playing this visual novel today. So, the description. After a bolt of lightning sends you to ancient Greece, there is only one thing to do. Face the danger. Meet the mighty gods. Make important choices and win the hearts of fearless companions. All this wrapped in mini-games, epic dialogues, and mystery so dark, even the gods dare not speak of it. And we can see our starting screen. This is our titular Zeus. Some characters. Mysterious character. I assume these are love interests. Very cool. So it's considered adventure, casual, visual novel, anime, indie. And I also saw it labeled as horror somewhere. Crazy. I wonder why. I guess we'll have to find out. It is coming out June 27th. So I'll be on the lookout for it. I'm always looking for new visual novels to play. It does have full audio in English, which is neat. You're arriving to the page of the free demo. This preview includes prologue of the game featuring nearly 15,000 words of the story and introduces you to the world of Demalthea and its inhabitants. We hope you'll enjoy 7 CGs and much more, getting to know the cast and collecting all 17 achievements, including the demo, are the first choices that will shape the plot, leading you to one of 2 possible endings. Bad endings or psych horror. Oh. Included in the demo. Yep. 2 possible endings. We're hard at work with the full version. Your feedback means everything to us. Share your thoughts and don't forget to wishlist and follow us to stay updated. Guys, I recommend. This is their first full game as a developer. So, Sora looks like the main character, thrown into a new world with nothing but the wits of the clothes on your back. You're the head of the last person anyone could call a hero. But fate has other plans. With dangers at every turn and impossible missions ahead, you have to rise, rally your allies, and prove that the most unremarkable can become legends. Callius? A sharp-tongued, sharp-torn, and confidence that could rival the gods themselves. Callius is a satyr who takes life as it comes, but beneath the charm and carefree swagger lies a fierce ally you'd be wise to keep on your side. Don't mistake his charm for weakness. When it matters, he gets serious. Vesperia, a deadly assassin with a cold demeanor and killer instinct. Vespera prefers others at arm's length. She's not interested in making friends, but when fate forces you together, you'll have to work as a team. Stay on her good side and maybe, just maybe, you'll catch a glimpse of the warp she desperately keeps hidden. And Zeus, the god above all gods. Zeus commands respect from all those who dwell in the heavens and on earth. Seated at his throne atop Mount Olympus, he rarely involves himself in mortal affairs, unless his image is threatened. He assigns you a task and you will follow through it, or face consequences beyond your comprehension. It features engaging story. Unravel a gripping tale full of twists and turns as you explore Demalthea and learn the truth behind your divine mission. Intriguing characters. Meet a diverse cast including a satyr, an assassin, a mysterious merchant, and a pair of powerful god brothers, each with their own motivations, secrets, and evolving story arcs. Interactive minigames. Engage in simple story-enhancing minigames that deepen your connection to the world of Demalthea. Gorgeous art. Enjoy stunning characters, sprites, and CGs, all beautifully handcrafted in-house by talented artists, and voice acting. Hear the characters come to life, brought to you by the skilled English voice actors. Embark on your odyssey now. The forces of evil won't wait for you. The game is not suitable for children, those easily disturbed. Whew! Alright. That sounds like a journey. Oh, and one thing that I had noticed while I was looking at the requirements. Sound card. Something that's able to play Darude Sandstorm. I fucking love Darude Sandstorm. I used to listen to that all the time when I was young. And you should be able to play this on a potato. Hilarious. Love that. Good job, creators. Very funny. Good humor. Alright. No. Go away. No. Alright, stop hitting that. Alright, we're putting this away for now. And we're heading into the game. Oh, whoops. That should not be up. There we go. Ignore the model art. Alright. So, one thing I have noticed that you do have to have the page up if you have anything else up. The audio cuts. So, I'll have to do my best to not switch back and forth because I know that can be very jarring. I'm very curious to see what this game has in store for me. And I just want to make sure I have this up. Okay. I hope you guys are ready to explore the world. New game. Enter a realm where gods and nightmare conspire, and monstrous horrors thirst for mortal blood. This journey is not for children or for the faint of heart. Anxiety and depression may be magnified by the terrors within. Oh yeah, my mouse pointer is myself. Because I'm adorable. We love self-love here. By playing Heroes Odyssey, you confirm that you're at least 13 years old and accept the possibility of confronting truly unsettling content and your own grim fate. Yes. The weather was ugly, as it always was on this day of the year. Heavy rain fell from the dark clouds, which covered even the tiniest scrap of the sky. The headlights of passing cars were reflecting off the wet asphalt. Always the same. The wind-tossed trees have already lost half their leaves, which now leapt and danced above the sidewalks and the ever-hurrying passerby, clutching their umbrellas. Colorful lightning bolts frequently streaked across the sky, their long branching shapes striking fear. With each thunderclap, the sound grew closer and closer. The sound of the fire truck sirens echoed throughout the streets, stopping curious onlookers who, as they turned to look, tried to guess where an accident had occurred. It was the first time I had the chance to observe such a gloomy day from above, from the roof of the university I attended. Taking advantage of the break before the last class, I decided to spend it here, hidden from others, yet able to see everyone around me, staring down upon them as if I too was a god. Look at those ant people. I watched the other students, some walking home and some rushing towards their cars, with bags and backpacks shielding their heads, as if afraid the rain might melt them. I saw groups of friends and couples strolling through the park, their wet hands clasped together between two umbrellas. I never carried an umbrella. I wasn't afraid of the rain. Besides, that way I didn't have to worry about the wind trying to snatch it away from me. I'd rather get wet. Soaking wet. I simply kept walking toward my destination, and once I got there, I waited until my clothes dried up. Not really an inconvenience for me. Ha! I'm not made of sugar. At times I was met with curious glances and prying comments, asking if I seriously couldn't afford the luxury of an umbrella. I never paid them any mind. Perhaps 5 years ago, I might have bothered by someone mocking me, but now I couldn't care less. No matter what others said, it was meaningless to me. Nothing was the same after the tragedy that befell me. I never thought I'd have to face the death of someone so close to me. I remember hanging out with my friends and completely neglecting my classes, which caused my grades to plummet. It's a miracle I even managed to get into college. However, thanks to the help of others, I started working on myself. Some might think I'm depressed, melancholic, but it's weather like this that puts me in such a mood. I was usually a pretty cheerful person, or at least I tried to be for the past 2 years. Not to mention, today marks the anniversary of the tragedy I mentioned. The anniversary of death. Someone once told me that the rain falls when God cries. I laughed at their face, telling them that God isn't real. But when I realized that every year on the same day, a downpour hits the city, I began to wonder if there was at least a little bit of truth to that. Such an unforeseen death of such a good person would surely even sadden a god. I walked up to the railing, the edge of the route, hoping to stay unnoticed by the college staff. I clutched it and looked down at the stairs leading to the main entrance, located directly below me. Tear after tear fell down on my already wet face. Cold gusts of wind made me start feeling the chill outside. If you were here, I bet you'd tell me a thing or two about how I'm acting right now. Very interesting that the name is blacked out. I wonder what's the cause of that. You tell me how much of a dumbass I am, standing this close to the barrier. Especially when the ground's so wet and slippery. Even though it's been 5 years since I last saw you, I still knew exactly what you'd say to me right now. I know what you're thinking. Calm down and go back inside and stop with this moody crap. Fuck. Honestly, I just want to know how you're doing. I raised my head to the sky and closed my eyes. I took a deep breath, letting the cold air fill my throat, until I felt the chill scratch at my larynx. I exhaled and repeated this a few more times. That was my meditation, my way of reaching out to my memories. I remembered a scene from many years ago, my first attempt at cooking. It was back in elementary school. Blank! And I went on a trip that included a cooking classes. We had to make tamagoyaki, which shouldn't have been a problem for kids our age. However, it proved to be quite a challenge for me. Not only did I burn my omelet, but I also salted it so badly that it was impossible to even try. Look at them, they're so happy. Blank noticed me struggling, so he invited me to his station. Together we managed to fry the best tamagoyaki in our group. I also remembered the time we went skiing together. Blank, even though he already knew how to ski, spent his whole day teaching me how to do it. We had an instructor, but he insisted on teaching me himself because he knew what worked best for me. As it turned out, he was right. I caught on quickly, and the very next day we were racing each other down the hill. But my favorite memory of all was playing heroes and villains. Blank and I used to go to the nearby playground where we'd put on a real show for the kids from the neighborhood. We'd throw on towels, swiped from home, wearing them like capes, and then we'd become real anime heroes. Hey Mom, are you a real anime girl? Yeah. We'd grab our toy swords and battle to the death. Always got to be the superhero, not that I ever complained. I wondered though why my Blank never minded being the villain. I figured he just knew that I didn't want to be one. Our fight scenes must have been really spectacular because all the neighborhood kids would gather at the playground just to watch us. Sadly, bad things always seem to happen to good people. It felt as if some evil had been infecting my mind. An alien memory appeared in my mind, one that had no right being there. I'd seen it often before, but I knew it was nothing more than a trick of my mind. 2 bright headlamps. The image flashed before my eyes every now and then. I knew it wasn't real, but each time it appeared, I felt less and less foreign. Suddenly there was a loud crack. Huh? A bright flash lit up the sky, followed by deafening boom. I looked ahead and saw the tree in the park across me go up in flames. But the pouring rain snuffed it out just as quickly. What a strange coincidence. Spending a thunderstorm on the university's open roof probably wasn't the smartest of ideas. I felt my heart race as I remembered once more what day it was today. A day without the person I won the best tamagoyaki contest with. The one I raced down ski slopes with. And the one who is my superhero. The feeling of longing rushed back to me. A sharp pain invaded my chest, and a helpless groan escaped my lips. I swallowed the huge lump in my throat. I miss you. I miss you so much, wherever you are. Give me a sign. Can you hear me? Give me a sign if you can. I then felt my hair slowly lift upwards towards the sky. I couldn't believe it. Was that the sign I was waiting for? Tears still running down my cheeks. I smiled to myself and thanked out loud. I felt fulfilled. I could finally go back inside. When I turned on my heel, ready to rush towards the door leading to the top floor of the building, a flash blinded me for an instant. I don't fully remember what happened next, but just a moment later, there was a loud crack, loud enough that I could have sworn my ears started to bleed. Oh shit. I lost my footing and fell to the ground with a loud thud. Unable to catch my breath, I alternated between trying to open my eyes and making a sound. No dice. Experience the shocking beginning of your adventure. All that was left for me to beg for help in my thoughts. Then I heard it once again. The familiar voice calling my name. Uh-oh. Ow. I let out a soft groan. I felt a stinging pain in the back of my head, but I couldn't even muster enough strength to rub it. Nor could I open my eyes, let alone move any of my limbs. Our game will contain various mini-games. The mini-game is about to begin. Hit the circle at just the right moment. Good luck. Boop. I could hear the murmur of the sea somewhere nearby, along with the sound of waves crashing against the surface of the water. Boop. The distance, the squawking of seagulls could be heard. Where am I? I heard an incomprehensible mumble escape my lips, trying my best to recall the last thing that happened to me. I remember standing on the rooftop of the university. The weather was horrible, and it only got worse after that damn storm. Then a bright flash behind me, followed by thunderclaps so loud it nearly ruptured my eardrums. I couldn't remember what happened after that. Judging by the surrounding sounds, I'd guess I'm no longer in the city. The suburbs, maybe? Boop.
Hey, you!
What?
Can you hear me?
Yes? A masculine voice was calling out in the distance. Unable to open my eyes, I could only assume I was the one he was calling out to. Boop. Finish the minigame, seeing and hearing all. I heard the footsteps for a moment later, the sound of bare feet shuffling along sand. The man walked up and stood right by my head. I could hear his shallow breathing. He must have been casting a shadow over my body, because I immediately felt comforted, and my skin, which had been burning up, could now breathe a sigh of relief from the sun. How strange. Such scorching sun and Such scorching sun in late autumn. I could have sworn it was raining just a moment ago.
Everything all right? You look pretty worn out.
Who's this beautiful voice?
Taking care of a stranger. Oh, just what I wanted.
I mustered enough energy to slowly raise my left and then my right eyelid. My vision was still blurring. Even though my eyes were playing tricks on me, I could tell I was on a beach. My brain was still sluggish. So it took me a moment to recall the nearest beach to my city was in. I didn't even know where.
Oh, you're alive!
Yes, I am.
What a surprise!
Are you surprised? I let out a quiet groan and closed my eyes. The bright colors was too much for me to handle. I tried to wake up in my overheated brain, asking where I was and why, though it proved to be harder than expected. I could only remember fragments of what had happened. Rena has the survival skills of a possum. What? I don't play dead. that moment, I couldn't tell if I was morning on the rooftop had been a dream, or if I was in one now. Fuck. My head started rubbing my temples. My fingers brushed against tiny grains stuck in my hair. Either my dandruff had come back with a vengeance or was lying in sand. I wasn't sure which scenario was more likely. My strength slowly returned. A sudden wave of panic surged through me. Cold sweat trickled down the back and face. I placed my hands on the sides and took a deep breath. Then I slowly exhaled. Bless whoever invented meditation.
Are you dead?
No, you can see that I'm alive.
Hello?
Hello to you.
Seriously?
I swear, if you had too much wine or smoked too many herbs, I'm gonna strangle you with my bare hands. It looks like that line is not voiced. Strangers seem to be slowly getting frustrated with my silence. I waited a moment longer before mustering the rest of my strength to rise up to the ground. My vision was still playing tricks on me, blurring even more, probably due to how quickly I'd gotten up from the ground. Even so, I could still make out the mysterious man standing before me, practically, if not completely, naked. Voice lines, short lines, and not voiced, but Steam marked it as full audio. Okay. Good to know. Is it intended to be full audio or no? I mean, yeah, Callias' voice is very sexy. Good job, voice actor. Boop. We're gonna change now. Oh no. My vision was still unfocused, though I could clearly tell that his legs were hairy, almost unnaturally so, and that he was wearing a strange pair of shoes, almost looking like hooves. Very talented and handsome. When I saw his face, my heart skipped a beat. Thank you. He forgot to shave today. The man wore a truly lifelike mask, with horns and elongated, almost like elk ears. I know what a satyr is. He's very tall. He looked like a member of some cult. Only after a few moments I was able to regain my sight, so I took another look at him, and froze in disbelief. His hairy legs weren't just excessively hairy. They looked like they belonged to a goat. His shoes looked like real hooves, and the mask seemed to be his actual face. At that moment, the stranger no longer seemed like a cult member. Instead, he started to resemble the devil himself. I let out a booming, uncontrollable scream, which startled the demon, making it recoil to the side and snarl at me. I know enough Greek mythology to know what's gonna happen to Rina next. Oh my. Who? What? What are you? Demon! Oh, for you. I can be whoever you want. Immediately flirting with me. Fantastic. I noticed the glint in his eyes. I bet those eyes have lured in more than one person in. It wasn't comforting in the slightest. Not comforting at all! Felt goosebumps slowly appearing on my skin. I was frozen like a statue, only able to stare at him in horror. He was meeting my gaze, looking at me with curiosity. He brushed his dark, wavy hair back with his hands, and then grabbed his goatee. Have to admit, in hell from where he probably came, he must have been a model. Sexy model. Demon! Okay, now you've gone too far. Do I look like someone who takes pleasure in torturing human souls? Yes! Correct! What? Relax, I'm just messing with you. For your information, just because something has horns and hooves doesn't mean it's a demon. I just wish someone would shout when they see a demon. Ah! A satyr! Because that's exactly what I am. A satyr. Thank you for the hugs. Always the same.
My name is Callius.
Callius. Okay. Was it all just a dream? Yeah. It must have been a stupid dream. Because how else can you explain the presence of a demonic goat man? Things like this only happen on TV. Or anime. Creatures like that have no place in the real world. Though, if this was all some sort of elaborate prank, they really went all out with the special effects. At least I hadn't ended up in some psychological horror instead. I glanced around. I saw a multitude of rocks and a vast sea that stretched out, disappearing over the horizon. I wonder what would have happened if I failed the minigame. Probably would have died, right? I then looked up. The sun was shining so brightly, its glare almost blinding me. Thought to myself that I'd wake up any moment now. The dream was different from the rest. It was so realistic I could feel the scorching sand beneath my feet, the hot sun on my skin, the breeze and salty water droplets on my face. Callius, the man standing before me, looked as real as they come. I couldn't stop myself, and I touched his stomach. His nice, soft stomach. Surprised how real to the touch felt, and even the scent of his fur and oils. I looked up, meeting Callius's gaze, his arms crossed and horned head swaying from side to side. Gulping nervously, I took a step back.
You flatter me. But how about you introduce yourself first?
Listen, okay? Can you blame me when there's a sexy horned man in front of me? Ha! Forgive me. I just wanted to make sure this wasn't a dream. No. What are you talking about? I'm not hiding anything. As you redeemed it. Alright, there we go. A dream? I assure you, boy, this is no dream. I'm very sorry. Alright, no big deal. What are you even doing here? And where are the other I bit my tongue before finishing my question. I didn't want to be reprimanded again, so I quickly corrected myself. Citizens? Oh wow, getting really horny in here.
Easy there.
Calm down, we're not the only ones here. It's a very well-hidden beach, hardly anyone knows about it. I stumbled across it purely by chance after getting lost on the trail. So you're very lucky that I decided to show up here today. Lucky. Lucky as I acquire my coffee. It's usually pretty horny in here, that's pretty correct. Where even am I?
Where? On a Greek island called Demathea. That's where.
Demathea. Huh? A Greek island. Hold on. A goat man, a Greek island. Did I just wake up in a magical world? I'm starting to regret my knowledge of myths was limited to what we covered in literature class. At least the major I chose didn't turn out to be such a bad idea. Who would have thought European literature would come in handy one day? Though, now that I think about it, I think I'd still prefer the psychological horror. Yeah. Whatever. I wonder how Callias would react if I told him he's just a fictional character. Don't tell him that, man. Alright, we're gonna ask him about mythology. We're in Greece. Oh yeah, watch out for the animals potentially being gods with desires. Alright, we're gonna ask him. I'm pretty familiar with Greek mythology, but... You said Greek island, like the ones in mythology?
What?
Mythology? Claes seemed genuinely taken aback by my question, almost as if I'd asked him which modeling agency he worked for. I felt more self-conscious with each word I spoke. You know, the collective of myths about Greek gods, demigods, satyrs, and all that. He looked deep in thought. He squinted his eyes, sunshine lighting up his face. Zeus, Aphrodite, Hades, Diana...
Enough!
Oh. Hi, Cake! Good morning. How you doing, cutie? We pissed him off. I stopped immediately, widening my eyes. Callias seemed furious. Have I done something to anger him once more? Ah, yes. You come to work to see me with this sexy goat man. I gulped and tried to force out an apology, but it came so faint that he didn't even seem to hear it. Callias stomped his foot and took a menacing step towards me. I was afraid that my adventure might end prematurely.
You're pushing your luck.
Are you seriously trying to test the limits of my patience? Or are you perhaps hoping to prove to me that my kind is not as smart as it might seem? Checking if I'm foolish enough to believe your every word? If you have something to say to me, then. No. Excuse me for saying all of that. I've never even dreamed of belittling you. It's just... where I come from, this world is only a fantasy.
What?
Fantasy? You're still going with us? No, I'm so sorry. Where are you even from? Japan? Never heard of that village. Sounds exotic. Like you. You're exotic. Excuse me? Did I hear him correctly? I'd understand if someone just didn't know where my country was, but mistaking it for a village? That sounded like he was just trying to get under my skin. Sounds so isolated from the outside world. No wonder it's hard for you to believe in such an advanced civilization as ours. Seriously? Alright, I probably earned that one. Tell me, Callias, what exactly am I doing here? I should ask you the same thing. And then there was an awkward silence. I perfectly understood what he was trying to imply. I'd also prefer to go back to my uni's rooftop. Simply head to my Gothic literature class where we discussed interesting novels. Class must have noticed how embarrassed his blatant dislike of me had made me because he eased up a bit and no longer sounded like an asshole. It looks like the sea washed you up here on shore.
How strange.
I wonder if that line was supposed to be different. No wonder he was so rude. He probably got so many compliments about his looks that his ego inflated like a balloon. I had this one friend back in elementary. The compliments from our classmates really messed up her head. One day, she flat out told me I was too average to be her friend anymore. That's fucked up. That stung. What was that?
Forget it. Unless...
There's one more explanation, though it seems even less likely. What's that? Before I arrived at the beach, I saw a single lightning bolt across the sky. Or at least I thought I did. I think it struck somewhere around here. Now that I think about it, it might have hit this very spot we're standing on now. Seltzer using the tongue already? Oh my. I wasn't sure if I understood him correctly, but I believe Callias was suggesting that the lightning bolt could have brought me here to this beach. That theory shouldn't have surprised me, all things considered. After all, I was currently shooting the breeze with an ill-mannered half-man, half-goat. I wasn't sure about how much time I've spent on the island, but I'm pretty sure I wasn't just washed ashore by the sea. My clothes should have been at least a bit damp, but I didn't feel anything sticking to my body, not even my briefs. It's not how quickly one goes to tongue, it's about where you put it. Oh my. Not to mention that I probably would have drowned before washing up on the shore. I didn't think I'd been lying on the beach for too long either. If I had, the scorching sun surely would have made its mark on me. Seltzer is an adorable husband, though. I didn't have any sunburns, not even reddened skin. No sign of heat stroke-induced headache either. Clyde stood in front of me, silence. He'd probably checking to see if I'm smart enough to catch his hint about the lightning bolt. Thank you for the huggies. Hydrates and stretchies. Okay. I hydrate with my coffee. Okay. Stretch. Cup. Alright, put that away for a second. Or maybe he didn't want to say it out loud, knowing how outlandish it sounded. I decided to show him that I'm not just some clueless nobody. Oh my god, that totally makes sense.
Huh?
Oh my god. OMG. Aw, I love you too, Star. Eh. You're such a good darling. I didn't mean to do that. I just realized my streamer bot was not up. Music is really good so far. I was like, why is stuff not tracking properly? I'm gonna boot it up for a second. There we go. Partially connected. There we go. Alright, should be good now. Alright, there we go. Excellent. Alright, back. Ah, I probably forgot you don't know what slang is. Slang? OMG is a short way of saying, oh my god. It's funny seeing how the tables have turned. Now that Satar was the one who was confused.
You're not making much sense.
I don't understand. Which god are you referring to? You know what, Claes? Never mind. The village speaks in a strange dialect. Lightning bolt, you said? Mm-hmm. Such a bizarre occurrence. I thought I was seeing things at first. Thank you. Maybe you're beautiful, Star. It was such a bizarre occurrence that I thought I was seeing things at first. But there's not a single cloud in the sky. How could... Exactly. If the lightning didn't strike from a cloud, but from open sky, then that means... Shh. Claes suddenly pressed a finger to his lips and pointed at a nearby bush that was swaying unnaturally. Oh God, Zeus has turned himself into a bush! I watched as he assumed a combat stance. He lowered his head, showing off his horns like a moose or a ram would, and impatiently stomped his hooves on the sand. He motioned for me to hide behind him. How chivalrous! I wasn't sure he was just playing the hero or genuinely wanted to protect me, but I obeyed him anyways.
You thought I wouldn't notice you?
Oh.
Who are you?
Listen, I can't blame him. I'm pretty sexy.
Show yourself at once.
Whoa. Why should Callias try to act all dangerous and intimidating? He looked downright ridiculous. Even adorable in his own way. Like an angry goat. I was hoping he could at least fight.
Enough!
Yeah. Get out now. Show yourselves, or else I'll have to dive in myself and give you a what for. Hello. Hello, babe. Thought it was Zeus hiding. Very dramatic. All of a sudden, a figure clad in a green robe leapt out of the bush. I could swear it froze in midair for a brief moment, suspended high above us. I barely had time to process the stranger jumping between me and Callias, separating us. They pulled out 2 razor-sharp daggers, pointing them at us. Instinctively jumped back, almost tripping over myself in the process. I was hoping that whoever this person was would think I was trying to attack them. After all, I just landed in the book, from the sky. Raising my hands above in a gesture of surrender, I tried to look the attacker in the eyes. They had a long green hood on their head. I couldn't see their whole face, but the shape of their small and elegant nose, full lips, and delicate jawline, I could easily tell that they were a woman. Yeah! Just the sight of her long, reddish hair peeking out from under that hood gave away quite a lot. Gorgeous green eyes, look at them. What is happening? Who are you?
You're pushing your luck.
I advise you, put down your weapons or you'll regret it. What the frick? Excuse me. I guess that's me. He didn't talk about my strange attire? The woman let out a quiet laugh and leapt high into the air, using only her legs. She spun above me, gracefully landed right behind my back. Sparrows. She seized my wrist and yanked me closer, pressing one dagger to my neck while keeping the other aimed at Callias. We're in trouble. Two medium-sized pillows. I messed up. I felt 2 medium-sized pillows pressing into my back. Oh my. No one pulled me even closer, clearly not wanting to let me go. Rinna is love, Rinna is life, yes. It was the first time I felt a woman's breasts against me, though not quite the way I had imagined. And Seltra is definitely a husbando. The blade scraped my neck, snapping me back to reality. Oop, there goes gravity. My eyes opened in terror. Beads of sweat rolled down my forehead, maybe from the stifling heat, or maybe from the thought of my impending death. It was hard to say at the time. Ah! This has to be a joke, right? Right, guys? I just woke up and somebody's already trying to kill me. The redhead is kind of hot, yeah. I don't blame you for wanting to woo her. What the fuck is going on?
Shut up.
Oh, demanding. Yep, another sword. Huh? Don't tell me what to...
Don't forget who's holding the knife here.
Oh, excuse you. Fair point.
Who are you two, and what are you doing here?
Don't worry about it.
We were just getting around to figuring that out ourselves.
What are you doing here? How about you tell us your purpose here? How'd you find the way to the hidden beach? I saw a lightning bolt. Also, another great voice actor, by the way. Great voice. Again with the lightning bolt? I followed it and it ended up finding you. So the lightning wasn't just a figment of Callias' imagination. Could it really have been what brought me to this world? I guess it would make sense, considering it struck me back on the roof. The more I learned, the less I liked this dream. Wish I could just wake up already.
Stop this!
Let the boy go. Killing him would be pointless. He doesn't even know where he is. No need to dirty your hands. He will make it past the first trial he stumbles onto anyway. Excuse me? Rude. I'm sure we can work something out. Dolman stayed silent for a moment, as if she was actually considering Callias' words. Just as I was about to lose all hope of getting out alive, I suddenly felt her hand press against my back, shoving me forward with all of her strength. I flew straight ahead, landing face first into Callias' stomach. He rolled his eyes and grabbed my shoulders, turning me around. So embarrassing. Thank you! Thank you for sparing my life, ma'am! You said you saw a lightning bolt? I've seen it too, but honestly, I thought my mind was playing tricks on me. That's why I had to make sure. The woman sheathed her blades and removed her cloak with hood, revealing thick, long hair tied into a bun. At last, I could look her in the eyes. Oh, she took the whole cloak off. I froze, noticing a scar running across one of them. It looked painful. I glanced at Callias, who was also staring at her with intrigue. She must have noticed our curiosity, because her cheeks quickly flushed. She averted her gaze and sighed.
Well, well.
She is hot. Fuck.
A female assassin.
How rare. An assassin. Something captivating about her appearance. Everyone's hot in this game. If not for the intimidating scar, her smooth, useful skin could make her look beautiful and seemingly innocent girl. I'm an artist. I need some Rule 34 drawn of these characters. It was chilling to imagine the kind of fight she must have endured to earn a mark like that. The scar didn't look like it was made by a blade or the hand of a man. Could it be the result of a bout with some wild creature? An animal? Or maybe...
Got a problem with that?
Oh. Hey, baby.
Easy there.
Don't get me wrong, I admire women who aren't scared to fight. Wait a second. Why do you even need to make sure that the lightning bolt was real? What's so special about lightning bolts anyway? A bolt from open sky is not exactly a common sight even here. Not even here.
It usually indicates the presence of the Father of Gods.
The Father of Gods! Father of Gods? You mean Zeus?
Watch yourself.
Show some respect! What? Don't use his name. It's uncouth. I'm sorry. They didn't teach about that in school. Too bad there wasn't a class of surviving in a mythological world. I came here as quickly as I could, but he wasn't here. Instead, I found you two.
I see.
Let's not be ridiculous, though. What would a god like him be doing in a place like this? That's what captured my interest.
Unless...
Unless... Claes gave me an uncertain look, as if trying to suggest that I could be the reason Zeus had chosen to come to this beach. I barely held back my laughter. Why on earth would it be me? Even in this mythological land, I was just an average Joe. Nothing more than the face in the crowd.
Huh?
Unless what? One looked like it was about to draw daggers and stab us out of sheer frustration. I glanced at Claes. Something felt off. Unless he just wanted to take a dip. Bogu! Seltro said he needs Rule 34 of these two characters.
Huh?
Take a dip. What? Gods have human needs too. If you were one, wouldn't you want to swim like a mortal every now and then? And how do you know that I'm not one? Doman's words were dripping with irony. Claes' odd comment about swimming really stuck with me. At first I thought he was genuinely talking about me being the reason Zeus came here. An assassin god? Please, that doesn't fit at all. The woman mumbled something under her breath, which, judging by her expression, wasn't anything pleasant. Hey, calm down, both of you. We've just managed to bury the hatchet. I felt a hand clutch my wrist. Claes leaned closer, his lips hovering next to my ear. Oh my.
You better keep that mouth shut. If I told her Zeus is hurling bolts around this place because of you, I bet she'd cut you down before we could even blink.
I simple milk dog. I see hot characters, I want sus pics of them. I felt a surge of heat rush over me. So in the end, I wasn't wrong. Claes actually thought Zeus came into this island because of me. I barely let you walk away with your life intact. I don't remember burying any sort of hatchets. And you, why do you keep insisting this beach is so secret? Finding it amongst trees is no small feat, you've got to admit that. No idea. I just used the road.
What?
A road? To my secret beach?
Again with this?
Please just knock it off already. I looked around and spotted a narrow path winding through the forest, leading straight to where we were standing. Must have been hidden behind a massive shrub where the assassin had been hiding. That would explain why I hadn't noticed it earlier. Oh yeah, I see it now. I usually approach the place from the other side. There's no convenient pathway there. Claes cut off as the ground started to suddenly shake. I adopted a wide stance, bending my knees, throwing my arms out, hoping to steady myself. I saw that technique in a movie once. Claes did the same. Meanwhile, the assassin crouched low, brushing aside the sand, and drove her daggers deep into the moist earth, gripping them tightly. Uh-oh. Shit, what now? An earthquake? Sudden flash blinded us. My ears pierced a horrendous screech. For a second, I thought I'd been struck by lightning again, but when I opened my eyes, everything around me was the same. Ah, you can check out our first test project. You should be satisfied. Bogu, you need to send me a link to that, by the way. I wanted to look. I was very curious. Everything except the presence of another person. They stood there with a mocking smile on their face, arms crossed, looking down at me with an air of superiority. I turned to the others and saw them kneeling in the sand, their hair literally buried in it. Who says I want a safer word version? Teehee. They look so ridiculous, I wish I could capture that sight on camera. I mean, that's cool. Nightbot is very aggressive. You wouldn't be able to post the link in chat, but I can post it. I don't know a way to turn it where I can temporarily give people access to post links. They look so ridiculous, I wish I could capture that sight on camera. If only I had my phone with me. Uh-oh. His arm is blue. Was there a reason why this was starred? I went to click it and thinking it was like just the text being blocked out. This one is safe. Did you send it to me? Links don't work in my chat. I stared straight into the man's eyes. He inquisitively raised his brow and clenched his teeth. His eyes are spooky. His shoulder-length hair was white as snow, matching his thick eyebrows and bushy beard. His face looked dignified. He wasn't old, but he could have been He couldn't have been younger than 40. He was dressed in a long tunic adorned with gold elements, making me feel as I was face to face with a king. A king. Oh my god! Literally. I immediately dropped to my knees and buried my head in the sand as well. My deduction skills were a bit slower than usual, but I finally clicked that the stranger wasn't just any stranger. He was Zeus himself. I was only hoping he wouldn't smite me where I'm standing. Maybe I should sacrifice some of my dignity and kiss his feet, just to be safe.
You flatter me.
His arm is all blue and stuff. Interesting.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Just a moment. All right, you can get up now.
We all obeyed, bow before Zeus, king of gods. I brushed the sand off my knees and looked at the older man. I couldn't believe my eyes. Zeus in the flesh. Holy fuck, Zeus. I wasn't sure if it was real or was just some elaborate illusion. What brings you to us, my lord? Zeus, no way, holy shit. Not what, but who? Zeus raised his index finger and pointed at me. I widened my eyes, scratching my head in confusion as I tried to make sense of it. What? Me? You're really talking about me? That's right. You're smarter than you look.
Boy, I have a quest for you.
Also, another good voice actor choice. Very booming.
A quest for a true hero.
Holy shit, a quest from a god? A hero? Forgive me, my lord, but I'm no... He raised his hand, silencing me in an instant. Zeus have my color palette. I suppose he does. Maybe I'm the child of Zeus. Who knows? Cold sweat washed over me, legs shaking like jelly.
Silence!
Do not interrupt me when I speak. I do not lower myself to converse with mortals just to be ignored by them. I beg your forgiveness. You were summoned here, boy, to lead an army. By my side, of course.
My brother, Hades.
One of my brothers, Hades, the meeker, lesser-known one, has rebelled against me and our fair division of domains. Are you Hades? Hades? What? You couldn't possibly mean that, Hades. And his defiance has declared war on me. A war that surely... I don't get it. What sort of reason could he possibly have to do that? If I remembered my lectures correctly, Hades liked hanging around in his underworld. Why would he suddenly want to abandon it and declare war on Zeus? Did he just wake up one day and realize he didn't like his share after all? I could only think of one thing that would justify his rebellion.
How dare you!
What did I say about interrupting? I'm so sorry, I just, immediately dropped to my knees and bowed before Zeus. The sand had already managed to get into every single crevice in my body, so at this point I didn't even care anymore. As punishment, you'll stay on your knees until I finish my story.
Listen closely.
Now back to your question.
His reason was love.
Zeus, who are you to judge? You're banging everybody. So it was all about Persephone. Zeus, where is your nip-nops? I love you guys using my terms. Nip-nops! According to the mythology, Persephone was Hades' wife, whom he kept in the underworld against her will. Fuck you, Zeus! She was supposed to stay there for eternity at first, but her mother, Demeter, had managed to negotiate her release with the gods. Careful what you ask for. I mean, yeah, he might fuck you too. Hades, afraid of losing his beloved, fed her a few pomegranate seeds before she could reach the surface, which bound Persephone to the underworld for forever. Double fuck you. I mean... Luckily, her mother had managed to reach a compromise, and according to the myths, that's how the 4 seasons came to be. Persephone was to spend 3 months with Hades each year, during which trees shed their leaves, and the soil became barren, symbolizing her mother's despair. That represented the second half of autumn and winter. In spring, summer, and the first part of autumn, Persephone could leave the underworld, and as her mother was happy to spend the time with her daughter, nature would awaken to life once again. Wasn't it 6 months, though? It was like 6 months out of the year. I could be wrong, though. Was it 6 seeds or 3 seeds? Thankfully, we were discussing the exact myth during one of our literature classes. I would not fuck around with Zeus. I mean, some people might be into it. Hi, Scora. How are you doing? How'd you find me? We're fucking around with Zeus. That's what we do here. Renee and shit. Thinking about it, it's hard to blame Hades for revolting against this whole arrangement. If I were in his shoes, only to be able to see my most beloved for 3 months each year, I'd also get mad and declare war on my brother. Of course, only if I were sure that winning would mean that I could see my love every day for the rest of my life. As you can see, not only mortals do foolish things for love. Quadruple fuck you, Zeus.
Continuing.
Easy to say for someone who finds betrayal so effortless. At first, I thought it was just my brother's silly attempt at a joke. Like Loki. He jokes about stuff all the time. He's really bad at joking. A simple need for some innocent rivalry between siblings. But he quickly showed me that the truth was quite different indeed. He started attacking the villages and taking the lives of mortals. Uh-oh. Poisoning the waters to bring a plague upon our wondrous land. One that consumes not only man, but all of nature. Oh, damn. Hades is really pissed. The trees shed their leaves to dry out to the bone. The grass loses all its color. The animals that drink from the poison rivers and lakes began mutating. Mutating? Like they do in horror and sci-fi flicks?
How tragic.
Day after day, Earth's being enveloped in deeper darkness. The villages on the island are gradually falling to ruin. Its inhabitants dying in great agony. It seems that Hades is trying to create his own army of the undead, all while attempting to steal mine from me. Even I can't bear to watch this. And I certainly can't allow him to continue with
I
it.
won't stand idly by.
My brother took the first step, marching down the path of war. Now it's my turn to take the next step and bring it to an end.
There's just one little problem.
Okay, what is it, sir? A problem? For the god above all gods? I don't think there was little in the slightest. All I know is that Hades has found a powerful warrior, one imbued with his power, one who's ready to bring him glory or die trying.
Disgraceful.
His actions are unpredictable, disgraceful, and ruthless. It is he wielding my brother's power in his hands who spreads terror and havoc upon the island? He is a formidable foe, but not formidable enough to be defeated by him. I know he won't stop until he achieves his objective and brings about one final battle.
That's why I need you, boy.
Why do you need me? I lifted my gaze towards him, my knees still planted in the sand. Oops, didn't want to do that. His firm expression made it clear that the word no didn't exist in any dictionary he knew. Why was I the one chosen for this whole mission? The first people I met on the island were Demon Satyr and Assassin Girl who could jump several meters into the air. So why did Zeus need my help, the help of an ordinary man like me? Love you too, Star. Yeah. Not that I'm complaining about the lack of willing warriors, but you have that something that intrigues me. Of course, Zeus, normal for him. And get up already, I finished my story. Terrified, I followed the order. I brushed my sand off the clothes and gently nodded. Forgive me, my lord.
Me, my wife, my children, and all of the mortals. We all place our hopes in you. So don't you dare disappoint us.
I'll do everything in my power, Zeus. Do everything in my power to make sure I don't. I hope it sounded convincing. I had no idea we just happened, or how exactly I could help, but I was too afraid to ask any questions for fear that Zeus would punish me. He's already shitting bricks after I failed to recognize him.
Ah, I see you have already managed to recruit 2 companions.
Ah, yes, 2 companions.
Huh?
We're dragging Callias and the assassin hottie.
What?
Oh god! Oh my god, thanks. According to him, my companions were a goat and a nameless lady who was trying to slit my throat mere moments ago. Well, that's just great. Amazing, even. Police and the assassin also looked deeply surprised, but they must have known what kind of consequences would follow if they refused Zeus's quest. No! And here I thought the 3 of us could go on our own separate ways. That fucking glimmer in Zeus's teeth. What the fuck, man? But now, I bet if we tried to split up, we'd experience firsthand what divine intervention really looks like.
Impressive!
Oh well, you're not slacking off. That's good, though you'll be needing more than just those 2. Find those who'll be fight by your side, those willing to give their life for the victory. Life? I didn't even know I'd be willing to sacrifice my own life for some argument between 2 brothers who couldn't talk things out. I've always despised war. If they wanted to turn us into pawns, they should have played a game of chess instead. Fair point. I'm terrible at chess. I wasn't able to understand why a simple conversation couldn't work.
Hero,
Form an army, win, and restore peace and order to this land. Simple, right? If you say so.
hurry up before it's too late. The darkness will soon engulf the entire island, and then the others.
Oh no.
I wish you luck, my hero. You'll be needing it.
Do I have your power? Do I shoot electric bolts from my hands? Wait just a moment, Once again, a bright flash blinded me and my companions. At least he spared us from an earthquake this time. When we opened our eyes, he was already gone. I looked at Callias and the assassin. Make sure that I hadn't just dreamed up this whole event. They were both casting distrustful glances at me. Man, it's not like I wanted this, okay? That wasn't just in my head, right? Our Lord really blessed us with his presence.
I don't get it.
It was real, but calling the boy a hero, there's gotta be some sort of mistake here. Me? A hero? It's hard to wrap my head around it all. I just arrived to this island and already found myself taking in some suicidal mission. Surely you don't doubt our Lord, assassin. He's never wrong after all. Flies glanced at me, sizing me up from head to toe, and a smile slowly starting to fade. At least that's what they say. My face turned red. I wasn't exactly the epitome of manliness. I didn't hit the gym, and my only regular exercise is a morning dash to the bakery for some fresh bread. But according to Zeus, I've got something that makes me better picked than Callias the assassin and 1,000 of others under his command. Maybe I'm like a character in a video game who starts off weak, but with some grinding and dedication becomes an unstoppable powerhouse. Could it be? I'm supposed to follow the guy who almost soiled himself when I gave him a little scare? You put a knife to my throat! I wouldn't call that a little scare. Which? If you were this hero you're talking about, you would have gotten out of that situation and not on your own. But instead you waited for the goat to save you. Hey, watch it. If you can't even handle me, a mere mortal, how do you plan to take on a god of an underworld? I lowered my head. I wanted to snap back, but nothing came to mind. Could argue that Lord Zeus ordered him to build an army, not fight alone. Can't blame him for not handling you on his own. A general relies on their army. That's why he's a general, not just some grunt. I looked at Callias and he smiled at me, and I could feel my confidence creeping back slowly. What a load of nonsense. You don't say. Can I have your name, please? I don't know about you, but I'm willing to give him a chance. I believe in our Lord's divine infallibility. If he chose the boy, then he must be the best choice. Thanks, Callias. I'm so glad that you believe in me. Besides, after we save the world, they'll be writing ballads of us. Oh, my satyr buddies are going to be so jealous. Oh, I can already picture it. The ballad of the boy and his trusty steed. How many times do I have to say I'm not some animal? I turned towards the forest, holding back a smile. Not gonna lie, that title had a nice ring to it. You can joke all you want, but you know you don't have a choice. You have to join forces with us unless you really want to piss off our Lord. Ugh. Got better chances seeing this through together. 3 heads are better than 1 after all. 3 heads are also a bigger target than 1. The girl crossed her arms and slowly shook her head. Finally, though, she sighed, resigned. Alright, better. Friend, keep an eye on you. Who knows what stupid ideas you got to come up with. Great! We should probably introduce ourselves now. I'm getting a bit tired of calling you Assassin. I'm Callias. I'm Sora. And I don't feel like getting chummy with you. However, if it's really that important to you, you can call me Vespera. What's that supposed to mean? Is that your name, or did you just make it up so we'd shut up? What's the difference? Just be glad that I gave you a name instead of dragging this topic on for no reason.
Forget it.
Alright. Calais, Vespera, these names sound so very exotic. I bet they must think the same about mine. So, what do we do now? How are we supposed to find Hades? Calais glanced at me questioningly. I shrugged, having no ideas. You know this place better than I, so... I stopped mid-sentence, hearing a strange rustling coming from the forest. Something, or maybe someone, was making its way through the bushes at the edge of the forest, growing fainter with each step. Do you hear that too?
How strange.
Yep, and it doesn't sound like any animal. I'm guessing it's not one of your killer friends either. Goliath looked at Vespera, who simply rolled her eyes with disdain. Don't be stupid. I don't have any friends in this line of work. In that case, looks like we have an uninvited guest. We glanced at each other, uncertain to what to do with that fact. If someone's been tailing us, we can't just let them slip away. We need to follow them, and if it turns out to be a threat to our mission, eliminate them. What if that's exactly what they want? Maybe they're trying to lure us into an ambush. The rustling grew quiet, almost disappearing to the depths of the forest. Hard to call it an ambush if we're ready for it. Vespera moved slowly, heading towards the source of the sound. Well, can't say I'm not a little curious about the identity of our voyeur. Besides, we better stick together. I nodded, and with Calais followed Vespera into the trees. Now we'll turn right.
Not bad.
Who would have thought those long ears of yours would finally come in handy? We slowly made our way through the forest, with Calais and his superior hearing leading the way. I tried to walk as lightly as possible, avoiding dry branches and leaves, keeping our presence unnoticed. I wondered who exactly we did encounter. After all, there was nothing to suggest that this person had any hostile intentions. Maybe it's just some scared kid who saw a satyr and an armed woman on the beach and panicked, running off into the forest. But the more I thought about it, the less I believed it. The figure slowly paying no attention to the noise, almost as if it wanted us to follow. Suddenly, Calais raised his hand, signaling us to stop. I don't hear any steps. Whoever our secret admirer is, they stopped just behind these trees. Well then, time to settle this. Vespera's face hardened with determination, her fingers hovering over the hilt of her daggers, ready to draw them in. Unwelcome guests turned aggressive. We carefully circled the trees and stepped into a small clearing.
Impossible.
What the? In the midst of the grass sat a young woman, dressed in a snow-white flowing robe that rippled gently with each passing breeze. Her face was calm and serene despite her youthful appearance. There was an aura of wisdom about her, as though she knew the answers to all the mysteries of the world. She smiled gently at us and gestured for us to come closer. Who could she be? She looks almost like a priestess. Either way, she doesn't seem like she's gonna attack us. And the trees around the clearing? What if there's someone hiding there with a bow just waiting for us to step in the open? I doubt that, but if you're somehow right. Vespera smiled slightly, then took a step forward. Then we can always use the woman as hostage. We moved towards the seated woman, scanning the surroundings for any signs of an ambush. Found nothing suspicious. The woman remained calm, still gazing at us with those all-knowing eyes. We stopped a short distance from her, and she slowly raised her arms, spreading them wide.
Greetings, my dear ones. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you.
Hi! Sculptor, how do you feel about this woman?
Especially you, young man.
Me? I'm clad in my fixed her gaze on me. I nervously swallowed, feeling a chill run down my spine. But me? Mommy? It is you whom our Lord has chosen. Am I mistaken? The woman seemed to know more than she should. She must have overheard her conversation with Zeus. Sultra wants to lick her. You pervert. Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed Vespera's face twist into a grimace of displeasure. I just hoped she wouldn't charge at an unarmed person. The woman noticed Vespera's stance and smiled disarmingly at her.
No need to be wary of me. I am a servant of the gods, just like you.
Oh my. I want to do more than just like her. Sure. Vespera scoffed under her breath, though I noticed she relaxed a little. You strive towards a noble goal. I'd like you to help achieve it.
I'm not following.
Well, that's fantastic and all, but where did you even come from? I followed the divine thunderbolts until they led me here, just like you. Months of wandering across seas, forests, and villages brought me to the shore. Months. I understand that you, too, had a difficult road to travel, but you did not falter, and in doing so you proved your devotion to the gods. Well, I was actually nearby, just a short walk, and I was on a beach. Same for me. The corners of her lips suddenly dropped. She cleared her throat and forced a smile back onto her face. You haven't had the honor of proving your determination to our Lord. You must be quite envious of me now. Oh, she's a little bit smug, huh? Sure. You already know our names, we don't know yours. It would be proper for you to introduce yourself. Of course, where are my manners?
You can call me Pythia. It's both my title and my name.
Interesting, Pythia. Delicate and beautiful, and how wonderful she smells. Yes. Pythia. Pythia is so beautiful. Claes raised his eyebrows, surprised. I nudged his shoulder. Who is this whole Pythia? I think I've heard her name before. The priestess of Apollo, with the ability to predict the future? They say that her words are the will of the gods, and her prophecies are known throughout the whole world. I knew she must be a priestess, but it never occurred to me that we could be dealing with Pythia herself. I'm glad to hear that you heard of me. Then you must already understand that my prophecies are not mere guesses. Every word I speak finds their reflection in reality. Pythia looked at me, straightening up. Her smile faded, replaced by a serious expression.
Young man, as an emissary of the gods, a tough road lies ahead of you, full of obstacles and dead ends.
Oh my. You will face trials that few mortals could survive. That's why you must remember your comrades, both those who are here now and those who will stand by your side in the future. A general must care for their army. However, you will need to find balance between loyalty to your comrades and fulfilling the role destined to you. Satisfying everyone is impossible. It may turn out that you'll need to focus on one person, the one who will become closest to you. Do you understand what I'm saying? I think so. Even though Pythia spoke in riddles, I managed to grasp the meaning of her words. Sooner or later, I'll have to choose the person I trust the most. That person will become my confidant, or perhaps something more? I glanced at Callias and Vespera, wondering who I would follow if I were forced to choose. I can't forget about those mysterious future companions, too. Who knows which of them I can trust the most? Get that, Togepi. Very well. I can foresee for your future with one of these people. Just one. Every prophecy I make demands my complete effort. If I attempt to craft more than one, the torment involved could drive me into madness. I nodded, regretting my question. Pythia had traveled months to offer her help, and here I was to ask her something she couldn't give. I also need an object that reflects this person. Without it, my ritual cannot proceed. Don't worry, simple objects you can find on the beach or in the forest will suffice.
Now, come closer, young man.
Oh, okay. I took a step forward, and suddenly a strong herbal aroma hit my nose, causing my head to spin. Before I could react, Pythia grabbed my hand. I felt a strange tingling that coursed through my entire body. Ah. Pythia closed her eyes and gripped my hand tighter, her nails digging into my skin. How curious. Her eyes opened and she let go of my hand. I stumbled backwards, barely managing to regain my balance. Are you alright, Sora? Yeah, she just scared me a bit is all.
In your future, I see 5 people you'll be able to grow closer to. I also know which item symbolizes each of them.
Interesting. Now all that's left for you to do is bring me one of those items. Okay. A gold coin, a leaf, a branch, a skull, and a shell. I wonder. I don't know which to pick. I can pick only one. So I'm wondering if the branch means it's our Satar friend, since he's from the woods. I assume the skull is the assassin. But that's just a guess. I have no idea if this choice means anything. You have to choose wisely. So it does mean something, okay. We're gonna go with the skull. Understood. Once you find it, bring it to me. Alone. Wait, and what about us? You'll have to wait. My prophecy can only be heard by the one I'm prophesizing to.
Whatever.
What a stupid rule. Pythia closed her eyes, considering the conversation over. We walked out of the meadow into the forest. Vespera's sighs were a clear sign that an argument was on the horizon. Seriously gonna waste her precious time just searching for junk? You should, you heard her. It's Pythia, the envoys of the god. Or that's what they think, at least. Vespera shook her head, clearly dismissing Pythia's prophecy as utter nonsense. Even if it's just baseless fortune-telling. It can't hurt to give it a shot. Should take all the help we can get. Exactly, it's not like every day most revered priestess of the lands offers to tell you the future. Suit yourselves. At least you won't have to listen to this drivel. Clive clasped his hands, taking it as an agreement. He's incredibly excited, as if we were about to have the time of our lives. Alright, let's start the search then. Remind us, boy, what exactly we're supposed to be looking for. A wolf skull. Seriously supposed to stumble through the forest and hunt the local wildlife? Yeah, I probably would. I am very curious to see what the different parts mean. Hey, no one said anything about hunting a wolf. We just need to find its skull. So, a wolf that died of old age. Needle in the haystack. Vespera had a point, but I still preferred that over hunting a wolf. I wasn't one for harming animals, especially when we had a way to settle this without bloodshed. Plot twist. Zeus likes assertive people, and you can fuck him when you decline 2 times. When you decline 2 times. That's funny. If I were an old wolf, I'd spend my golden years somewhere cozy and peaceful. Clive stroked his beard deep in thought, and then his eyes lit up and he raised a finger. I know where I can find a skull. Not too far from here is a peak called the Wolf's Hill. Fitting name, don't you think? Wolves used to rest there, drink from the nearby stream, and bask in the sun. Though as far as I know, it's been 6 years since anyone's seen them there. The skulls of wolves that passed away peacefully should still be there. They would be a very convenient solution, but are you sure you remember the way? Of course, I used to go there all the time when I was younger. I just to watch those graceful creatures. I know the ways the Wolf's Hill is like back of my hand. You'll see. Grinning with enthusiasm, Clive took off the trees, leaving us behind. I hope you do, for your own sake. After a short journey, one of that involved doubling back a few times under Clive's excuse of taking in the sights, we finally arrived at Wolf's Hill, which turned out to be a small mound, barely higher than the land around it. There we found an old animal skull, bleached white by the sun. Clive picked it up and handed it to me, with the grace of someone presenting a bouquet of roses. I took it carefully, shivering as my knuckles tapped against its hollow, hardened surface. Wasting no time, we made our way back to the edge of the clearing, this time with Vespera serving as our navigator. Nervously holding the skull before me, I stepped away from my companions and onto the meadows, approaching Pythia. She looked up upon the sound of my footsteps and gave me a soft smile. Here, the skull wolf. She took the skull, cradling in both hands, then took a deep breath. Her pupils suddenly widened. The wolf skull, the fated pride of a predator, hidden among the forest shadows beyond the sight of those who can not truly see. No, we're not putting me in dirt! Wild by nature, untamed, cold, lifeless, yet serene, full of life, through silence, she feels. Pythia's fingers sink to the hollow eye sockets, as if trying to glimpse something just beyond her vision. No, wisdom teeth being removed. When I had my wisdom teeth removed, I had all of them removed at once. In her eyes, reflections of other worlds, other forms, not always human. She is afraid. Her heart longs for someone who understands, even as her mind tells her to flee. Abnormally large wisdom teeth. Like a lone wolf separated from his pack, hungry and weary, yet fearful and watching. Her body began to tremble, and her grip on the skull tightened. She edges closer to the fire, drawing into its warmth the promise of safety, but one sudden movement, and she vanishes into the dark once more. Perhaps one day someone will come who can tame her wild heart, or who will let her run free. Perhaps one day someone will come. She opened her mouth as if she wanted to say something, then her shoulders slumped as she leaned forward. Terrified, I took a step closer, ready to catch her, but she raised her hand, stopping me.
It's okay. I'm fine now.
Oh. She shook her head and opened her eyes. They were hazy, as though she hadn't fully returned to the present. Her hands were trembling. Everything alright? Pythia looked directly at me, her face lightened up with an unnaturally wide smile.
Sometimes the truth is just part of the illusion.
Ooh. What? Suddenly I felt a soft pressure on the back of my neck, as though a cold hand had brushed my skin. My breath caught in my chest, and my heart raced. I instantly turned around. There was no one there. It must have been the wind. I swear someone was standing behind. turned back to Pythia and furrowed my brows. The meadow was empty. What in the... I crouched down on the spot where I'd seen Pythia. The grass blade stood undisturbed, and there was no sign of anyone that had been here before. A few moments later, I heard the steps of my companions. You were taking your sweet time, so we came to check in just in case.
What?
What? Wait, where's Pythia? She vanished into thin air? Vanished, you say? If this is some trick, then it's no trick. I shot back sharply, making Vespera raise an eyebrow. See for yourself, no trace of her remains. I stepped back, allowing Vespera to approach. She scanned the area, astonished. See, as if she was never here in the first place. She opened her mouth as if wanting to say something, but closed it a moment later, moving a few steps further and examining something on the ground. A confident smirk appeared in her face. Yeah, you're right, she was never here. But what? Wait, Indeed. She was just our delusion. Come here. Calais and I joined Vespera. In the tall grass lay a small pile of twisted, half-burned roots. That biting herbal scent hit me again. The one I had noticed earlier. Mandragora roots? Someone must have been partying hard in here. Calais turned to me, noticing the confused look on my face. An extremely potent hallucinogen. Some people, and even satyrs, burn it and inhale the fumes, which causes various hallucinations. Just like us hallucinating Pythia. Ooh. Make sure you bite your balls! Don't smoke the weed, guys. But how's it possible that all three of us saw it and heard the same thing? Well, group hallucinations aren't exactly rare. This one's just pretty unusual, but definitely not impossible. I can't believe it, but she looks so real. I could even feel her touch. I looked at the hand that Pythia had grabbed earlier, but I couldn't find any traces on it. It was just an illusion. Just leave it already. The stench is giving me a headache. Lysa and Vespera looked up and started walking away. Just an illusion. I stared at the pile of half-burned roots. I felt strange. Pythia, the woman that I had just been talking to, didn't exist. Just a figment of my imagination. A gust of wind shook the ash, which swirled through the air and flew right past my face. I noticed something white and irregularly shaped in the middle of the pile. I brushed aside the half-burned roots with my hand, ignoring the possibility that it might be poisonous. Buried underneath the ash was a long animal fang, most likely belonging to a wolf. It was milky white, weathered by the sun.
Ahem.
Sara, what are you doing there? Gotta move on. I struggled to tear my gaze away from the fang. I clenched my hand around it, but after a moment I loosened my grip. The fang sank back into the ash, disappearing from my sight. Sometimes the truth is just part of the illusion. I stood up, brushing the ash from my knees. I rushed after Calais and Vespera who were leaving the meadow. We returned to the beach after a short trek through the forest.
Right.
What were they talking about earlier? Alright. How are you supposed to find Hades? The best starting point would be to journey to the nearby village of Alnus. Trades thriving there and traveling caravans should prove to be a valuable source of information. Sounds like a good idea. Of course it is. After all, I'm the one who came up with it. And that's the end of the demo. Yay! I wonder how many people have given feedback already. Very nice. I am very curious I should have saved before. First 15 people, huh? We have a journey ahead. Bogu is trying to find out. I mean, that'd be kind of cool to have my name in the credits. I'm like curious. You got 9. Oh, Psych would be there. Let's go. Alright, I'm nosy. Ooh, okay. Very interesting. I didn't die! Skip to this part? Okay. Is it if I chose to reject his, Can I skip to that? How do I skip? There we go. I'm just seeing if this fucks everything up too. Uh oh. Ooh, failed the minigame and left in the dark. Interesting.
Everything all right? You look pretty. Taking care of a stranger. Oh, just what I wanted.
Let me
Oh,
skip.
what a surprise!
Yeah, skip is not working in all parts. Can't skip parts he didn't read. Got it. So there's some slight different dialogue. Can't do it! I glanced at Callias and the woman, then finally at Zeus. They all looked so brave and full of resolve. And then there was me, just an ordinary person with no special talents and unremarkable appearance. I knew I didn't belong in this world. Worse still, I feared my involvement in the war might cause more harm than good. I shot Zeus an apologetic look, silently pleading for him to understand. I'm afraid I can't. Zeus raised an eyebrow, his glare burning with anger. I felt a strange electric charge building in my body, but I wasn't sure if it was from stress or Zeus had something to do with it. Took a deep breath, but did nothing to steady me. Something felt off. You should know by now. I don't take no for an answer. So I'll say it one more time.
We're all counting on you.
Refuse. Forgive me, my lord, but I must refuse. Are you telling me you care not for the fate of mortals, let alone the gods? I really...
In that case, my boy.
Please, murder me.
Your indifference leaves me no choice.
It's not indifference, sir. Zeus pointed a finger at me. First, I didn't understand what was happening. I saw Callias at the girl leap aside, the terror in their eyes. It felt like my heart was about to explode. Stop. Bam. Oh shit. Oh. Oh. I gasped for air, my eyes snapping open. What just happened? My heart hammered in my chest, my body trembling uncontrollably. Had it just been a dream? I scanned the dimly lit room. What? What's going on? I was in a hospital room? I could hear the steady hum of machines nearby, punctuated by the rapping beeping of the heart monitor attached to me. My ragged breath was so loud, I only hoped I was alone in the room. Darkness blanketed the room, broken only by the moonlight spilling in through the window. Oh. Pressed the sound of an unfamiliar voice, my mind scrambling to place it. I tried lifting my head, but my body refused to obey.
Easy there. Try not to move.
Hi! What happened to me? My mouth opened, but no sound came out.
My name is Dr. Myoga. We're currently at the hospital.
He has a thick accent. It's kind of sexy.
I'm afraid I have some bad news to share with you.
Yes, doctor? My heart nearly jumped out of my chest. I felt a sharp pain in my throat, as if I was swallowing 100
We've
needles.
observed signs of a shutdown response in you.
Oh, I'm sorry, what? Shutdown response. Am I a program? What the fuck? Couldn't I say anything?
University staff found you on the roof.
Okay.
We suspect you were struck by lightning during the storm 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks? But not even a day has passed
You've
since...
suffered a serious neurological injury, which resulted in the paralysis of the body.
Holy shit.
That's why you can move. Or speak.
Oh, what? What? What the fuck? This must be a joke, right? How am I alive? A fucking joke!
All you can move is your eyes. I'm sorry, kid.
I wanted to prove Dr. Miyuga wrong. Tried raising my hand, but it stayed still. My leg, again. No response. Fuck, 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 fuck,
I
fuck!
know this is hard for you, but you need to calm down. Your heart is in a very poor condition. Hold on. I'll get you something that will help you relax.
He's gonna drug me! I wanted to beg the doctor to stay, but I couldn't say a word. The strange fear gripped me. I didn't want to be left alone in this dark room. Something was watching me. I just knew it. It lurked in the corner, waiting for us to be alone. Oh! As soon as Dr. Miyuga left the room, I saw the pair of glowing eyes. An empty gaze fixed directly on me, making my chest feel like it was collapsing. I waited for the cardiac monitor to shut off from overworking. When this abomination began crawling towards me, I could hear it. It was getting closer. What the fuck is that thing? I felt its presence right beneath me. The doctor still hadn't returned, and I was fighting for my life. Something started dripping on my face from the ceiling. Something viscous, reeking of spoiled meat and rotten eggs. A slimy substance flooded my mouth, and I couldn't spit it out. As it made its way straight down my throat, I feared I might choke on my own vomit and die. I tried desperately to call for help, but not even a faint murmur escaped my lips. I dropped the thick liquid spattered against my nose. Curiosity urged me to look up, but fear held me back. No, I'm not looking. I shut my eyes and tried to take a deep breath. Oh. Suddenly, I felt a violent impact against my chest. Something detached from the ceiling and fell onto me. I couldn't feel its weight, but the sound it made, I knew was really heavy. It stank unimaginably, like a corpse left in a hot, sealed room for weeks. My eyes snapped open and I saw it. The abomination with glowing eyes crushing my body, staring up at me close. I tried to shake it off. I was fucking paralyzed. The monster opened its mouth and the room filled with horrendous, deafening noise. A cacophony of screams, howls, and desperate cries for help. As if somebody had opened the gates of hell. I didn't know what was worse. What the creature looked like, or what it was telling me. I really short? Beatsies. He reached out and touched my forehead. Images rushed through my mind in an instant. They weren't memories, more like visions. Visions from the past and future. I felt the thick liquid gathering in the corners of my eyes. It wasn't tears. Bubbles started to form in my nose. My ears rang like my eardrums were about to burst, and a metallic, bloody taste flooded my mouth. Was this hell? I watched these fleeting visions, not even realizing what they depicted. I only knew what such sights were meant for a mortal to see. The past, the future, alternative realities, worlds that shouldn't even exist. Oh, creepy. The creature pressed a finger to my forehead, driving its long, sharp nail to my skull. And then he died. Bye 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 bye. Oh, can you correct your mistake? Yes and yes. So I hit the first yes, and the entire game closed on me. I don't know if that's the intention of the game. But I think I got the ending. Me. I don't know if that's a bug or if that was meant to happen. I know some games will auto-close. What a strange screen indeed. And the achievements were all words. Very, very cool. Where's that survey? I had it open. Hmm. It wasn't in the game. What do you mean it wasn't in the game? I don't know. It was creepy. Which is my favorite character? Hmm. Spooky. Hmm. Oh, so it is intended to close forcibly on me. Got it. Very cool. He enjoyed it. Um, I wonder if I hit the second no, if it would just close on me too. Oh, whoops, I forgot to put in my favorite character. Silly me. I liked all the characters. I think all the characters are pretty good. With that, I suppose it is time for me to raid off. Let's see what we got going on. Suki is streaming. What's she up to? I'm gonna raid Suki. I haven't raided her in forever. She looks like she's doing a just chatting stream. But it looks like she's building a clock. Very interesting. I can see her tummy. Very curious. Alright, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today. My name, of course, is Renee. I'm with Time Witch of the Females. I will be back again before you know it. We'll be streaming tomorrow. I'm playing a different game tomorrow, which I was also given on Keymailer as well. So that's gonna be it's called Grimm's Folly. So very cool. Alright, bye guys. I love you. We're gonna go raid into Suki Fox Girl. My love, my darling. I see she has a screen. Constellation clock. Ooh, I might have to look into getting that. Thank you. Of course, I had fun. Alright, guys. Bye-bye.